Hello everyone and welcome back to the Norfolk Southern Railway here on Railroader. Now at the end of the previous video we just shunted our Whittier sawmill empty cars over to here, which are going to be going over there later on in the day, but right now I want to get these over to Whittier because we've got to drop this off at our house track, and then we need to go up to Ela for the farm supply, Bryson lumber, coal, standard oil, and Appalachian hardwoods. So that said, let's get our loco in reverse, give a bit of horn, give it a bit of power, and away we go. And actually what I'm going to do briefly is there we go. You did notice in the previous video didn't really give it the beans, and consequently didn't actually get to hear this thing in action. Oh yeah, we're drinking fuel now. Now I've just remembered, I don't know if I ever set up the route. No, I didn't. We're going to have to throw this switch over here. And we are going to have to run along here. Fantastic sight. Possibly not so much sound, but you know, do love the sight of this SW1 running along. I know a lot of people will be all about the GP9, and the plan is to have a fleet of GP9s to work this railroad eventually. So maybe I should talk about long-term plans. So as far as rolling stock, as I've already mentioned, the next big thing for me is to go east to Silver. So rolling stock wise, I'm going to keep the 2 steam locos. Don't plan to ever get rid of them. Now the 10-wheeler does a fantastic job of taking care of our logging up there. So what I'm thinking, as I realise that I've not set the route correctly here, and we're going to head up to the logging camp. Yes. All the brakes please. All the brakes please. As I've just received a notification about Uzi in the gauge, which means our passenger train should be over there somewhere. Right. Let's move forward and try that again. Yeah, so plans for rolling stock moving forward. Well, we're going to need to get our own oil or diesel tanker, because we are going to have to supply our diesel stand over there at the shed, and that certainly has to happen before we get a GP9. I think there's enough. I think we get 4 gallons with the stand when we arrive, and this holds 600 gallons, so you know, that 6, 12, 18, 24 3,000, 3,600. You know, so we've got plenty of fuel for now. Oh, there we go. $211. Excellent. Right. Let's throw this switch. And we are going to run down the line because I want to get this passenger train loading again. So, control click on there, passengers. We want you to load for Ela and Bryson, copy to coupled. Because we desperately need another coach. That's going to be our first purchase. So, because look, got all these people. Look, 43 wanting to go over to Ela. And I left a whole bunch of people at Ela on the run down here to Whittier. Because we just haven't got the capacity. And that's already straight off. You know, this is the first full day of having Bryson open. So I did do one passenger run over to Bryson off screen when I opened the bridge, which was yesterday afternoon in game. And then since then, all I've done is brought the logs down, put a few in the shed to repair, and purchased our diesel, and that's it. So the passengers haven't had a massive amount of time to build up, but build up they have. We're going to have to take care of that. Right, while the passengers are loading up, we can run into the loop. And I can continue telling you about my grand plan. So, the grand plan is we're going to buy a passenger coach. Then we're going to buy a diesel tanker. Then we're going to get our GP9. And the 10-wheeler will be stationed here at Whittier for the login. And for now, I imagine that our little 460 is going to be happy running with 3 passenger cars back and forth between the stations. However, when we get to silver, we'll probably have to add to that. And then it'll be up to our SW1, which will possibly end up living over at Bryson. And that will become our Bryson switcher. And we'll have a GP9 as a road loco, which is going to pull the stuff out of Silver up to Whittier, drop off at the exchange yard there, carry on through to Bryson, drop off the cars there. So our steam switcher, as it will be, a 10-wheeler, will take care of our logging and switching out all the industries over here at Whittier and Ela, should there be any need for Ela switching. Which, as you know, we've got one car, I think it is, yeah, in this rake. So that will become its domain. And then we will need an additional loco eventually over at Silver to do the switching there. But right now, once we get that GP9 on Silver, then it will become the GP9's job to do the switching as it comes along the line as far as Whittier. So yeah, that's our grand plan so far. So, just coming into Whittier Yard now. And we'll say Whittier Yard as a distinction from East Whittier interchange. Should have been shooting the horn at the crossing there. Hopefully no one will be too angry at me. And oh look, we match our coaches over there. It gently does it. Just want to leave these clear of the crossing. But we're nearly full on our passenger coaches. A quick reminder. So we are only on day 6 of playing. Are we clear? We're clear. Excellent. Clamp down. Now brakes. We are going to now actually I think, yeah, for the sake of easiness, we're going to run ahead of the passenger train up to Ela. So let's split this off. Go ahead and pull this one. And we're just going to leave it over here. And we'll switch it out on our way back through. Now I think we're going to be running light engine from Bryson back to Ela. Unless we take that farm supply car with us. Yeah, that's a question, isn't it? Yeah, technically it would be easier to switch out the farm supply on the way back. But what I might do is drop off this farm supply car at Ela and come back and yeah, do the switching on the way back for the farm supply. Hey, this game is really cerebral. It really does get the old mental juices flowing for all the switching, and I love it. It is one of my favourite things about the game. You really have to think about what you're doing. And we pull up our switch list. You can see we've done nothing yet. So we've not done any of this. So we've got our sawmill cars are on switch list. And I'm going to keep them on there just because it reminds us of what needs to go where. As you can see, we've got all these. We've got the interchange to the sawmill. Loads of stuff. I say I really love it. As our passenger train's actually full. So you know what? I am going to leave this car here. Just get it clear of the switch. Technically it wouldn't matter, but you know, it's kind of bad form to leave rolling stock. That over a switch, certainly for any length of time. If we can avoid it. So, do is apply the handbrake, come over here, split that off, and what I'm going to do now is I'll reconnect to our consist over here, drag that up to Ela, but I am going to send our passenger train on its way first so that can get to Ela, drop off passengers there, reload, and continue on to Bryson without us. So, you finally rejoin us here over at Ela, where we are going to cut out this single car. Of course, these are all going to Bryson, but this one needs to be over there. This does require a bit of switching, so we're not going to bother with that right now. We're just going to pull our single car away. Run around it. And we're just going to push it through over there for now. And then we'll worry about the switching of it when we make our return journey. As I say, I don't think we've got any cars coming back with us from Bryson. All the industries should be empty over there at the moment. So I'll go switch this out of the way and come couple on the head end of our train and we can continue on with the journey. So, after what feels like forever, we are finally ready to go. Shunting shouldn't have took that long, but essentially what I've done is I've pulled that car out of here and parked it over here, ready to take with us back to the interchange. I've shunted our farm supply car right over there, then realised that the farm supply is actually this track. So what we're going to have to do on our way back is just pull that car out. It's getting a bit windy. So yeah, we'll have to pull that car out, run around it, so we can get on the other side of it, pull it back into the spur and shunt it. Right, that all said, shall we depart? So here we are, folks. Finally pulling in to our destination here at Bryson. Just going to switch through into the yard and use the train brake rather than the loco brake. We've actually got a chance of slowing down with our load. And we're just going to go in this first many sidings. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a run round track, as well as our 2 mains over here. Or at least I guess that's how it's laid out. I mean, that could be a switch lead technically. Certainly got a lot of crossovers going back and forth over there. But one to blow our horn there. And technically we're not going up as far as the crossing, nowhere near. There we go, so we have 1 for Bryson, Lumber and Coal, 2 for Bryson, Lumber and Coal, D1 and L1. So that's important because they are different destinations within the same industry. We've got Standard Oil R1 and then Appalachian Hardwoods, sorry. We've got R1 and we've got G3B. So I think the easiest thing to do would be to bring this up and go locations and let's look at lumber and coal supply first of all. So that's over there and over there, right? So how do we get over there? Let's have a look. So looking at this, we've got to come round to the turntable. Wow, that's going to be tight. Even with 1. So effectively, we are going to need to turn this turntable, aren't we? Because we're going to want it. So we can effectively use this road here. There's a switch lead. So we can reverse in here and then shunt these two respectively. So even though we don't have our locomotive over here yet, we do get to play with the turntable. So this is something I'm not familiar with, so bear with me if I do get it wrong. So apparently we can come in here and oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, holding your mouse and dragging, we can turn the turntable on. We've got real fine control over it as well. And excellent, it has got self-centering as well. So if you go slightly over, it will detect the route and pulls it back in line. You know, round of applause there for the developers because that is gorgeous. How that works, you know, dovetail. And no, what am I talking about? Dovetail don't even have working turntables in. No, they do. They do have working turntables in Train Sim World. What I'm talking about, I used them on Sandpatch Grade. So dovetail without using the cameras, which can be a bit disorientating. It's awkward to use your turntables. Not as good as this. Derail Valley. Yes, you can manually push it round, but sometimes that's a ball ache. You keep slipping off. And working from the shed, you've got no visibility. So, you know, props to the developers. They've got that right. I like that. Okay, so we are going to need to flip this switch. We can get through here. We are going to have to flip that switch. We're going to have to flip that switch. And I believe our train is over here, so we run down here. We should be good to go. No, I know that even Usain Bolt couldn't keep up with me right now, but there we go. So that's going to be the first move. However, if we look, we've got a full passenger train already. And as much as it kind of breaks my heart to do this, because I know that I should be running the loco round and putting it on the other end, I am going to send it AI back that way. First, I'm going to have to take a quick jump over to Ela. Run over here. And we are going to place a fusee using Control F right about there, I think. One thing I do need to do whilst doing that is make sure we set our turnouts correctly, because otherwise the train's going to clump along here, go in there and go, oh, there's a boxcar in my way, I can go no further. And I'm going to go, oh, yeah, not supposed to go that way. There we go. They're all switched. Let's jump back to Bryson. We're going to want to jump about here. So let's go ahead and do that. The reason we want to be over here is... no, we want to come back here a bit further. We need to switch that to the main right over here. And, ooh, that's a nice, significant yard lead we've got there. Oh, that's not so pretty. Yeah, I was giving you a round of applause for the old turntable there, but this needs a little work. I know it's early access, and so scenery is not finished. But can you come and visit that? And while you're at it, make this road go somewhere when you get round to it, please. Now, I'm hoping that the towns will be expanded. We're going to get some buildings, and it's actually going to look like there's life in these destinations. Because right now, you know, all our passengers from Ela are just coming out of the hills because they work at two small industries, the farm supply and the house track. And they're just wandering in from the hills, taking their stuff and disappearing off into the hills. I'd like to see some kind of life there. And right now, again, here at Bryson, it's all about, if we switch to this view, all about the industries. There's no habitation anywhere. So hopefully that will get expanded on real soon. Right now, we need to go grab our loco, don't we? So let's click on NSR there. Let's follow. Let's say we need to pull our first two off of here. And let's disconnect the glad hands with shift click. So it shuts our angle cocks at the same time. Release the brakes and away we go. With a bit of horn. And whilst this is rolling, just gonna grab our mogul. That's not our mogul at all, that's our tender for the mogul. Yeah, fine, we'll open the window. Orders, he's fully loaded. We're going to send him back on reverse. And already, if we look here, we've got 125 passengers waiting. So we definitely need more cars. Which is going to be complicated. I think what we do is we ignore the observation car for now. We're going to grab 2 more passenger cars for that train as soon as we've got the money up. And then I'm just going to run the loco round, and we're going to run a 4-car train. And then we'll get the observation cars at a later date when we've actually got time to pull them off, rotate them, stick them on the rear of the train, and run them out. So that's probably going to be when I've got multiplayer going, or certainly when we can focus on passengers. Because look, Whittier Depot on its own needs more than a larger car. And bear in mind, the second passenger car only holds 50. So we've got 110 capacity there. We've already got 125 waiting. So let's give some juice to our loco, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. I'm going to go and shunt these away. Apologies if you did want to see me go ahead. Actually, no. We're going to run a bit longer. hopefully you guys don't mind. I am going to shunt this first industry. We're going to do that together. And then what we'll do is, after I shunted this first industry, I'll go and do the others separately because I need to go find them. And I'll show you in a later video when we have to pull the original cars and place additional ones, because we're going to have a whole lot of cars coming through here soon enough. And I know that Standard Oil is off down there somewhere. Appalachian Hardwoods is somewhere around that corner. So there is a bit of driving involved, and I also need to work out how to switch them around so they're ready to deliver, because there is going to be pushing maneuvers for all of those. Put a bit of brake on it. Right. Let's bring up the tab. So yeah, just as I thought, we are going to need to use the turntable. Well, yeah, I don't think we'd have cleared this switch in order to throw it. So right, so our lead car, as it is now, needs to go over there. Excellent. So let's throw that switch. Get some forwards action on it. And we can pull that one in. Then it's a case of reversing back up and putting our coal over the coal dump. So, you know, if I'd used my brain, I would have been able to tell that, you know, the box car's going to go over here and the coal is going to go over there. But, well, that's assuming that I have brains. And I do question that myself sometimes, so we're going to go pull forward, shunt these, and let's say, then off screen, I will work out where these have got to go and go put them in their respective places. Run through the day, make some money, and I will come back to you in the next video the following morning, so we can start up again here at Bryson with passengers, and then we'll travel over to the Whittier Inn to change, to do all our work over there. Right, where's the handbrake? Handbrake is there. And if you missed that, as I did, so we've delivered that car for $76 and a $5 bonus for timeliness, and it's $81 for delivering that car. Already I can see us getting a few steps closer to paying off our loan. One other thing, devs, is a couple of heights are a bit off on these coal hoppers, and it is just a coal hopper. It may be that the SW1 is a bit low as well, but compared to the boxcar, but that hopper is definitely high. Get some reversing action. Of course, because we jumped around, we have no driver in the cab. We'll ignore that. I mean, I put him in there. There you go. One driver. Pull this back through. Give it the beans. Yeah, it sounds a bit off, but you know, early access game, and I cannot complain about sounds really, because Loco Shortline Operations, which is the other major train game on my channel, certainly in the last year or so, sounds aren't great on that either. So, you know, the problem with developing a train game is if you don't have someone who is good at sounds, you are going to struggle. And finding people who are good at sounds is few and far between. I can English. So, yeah. Nice on Century of Steam. He is a sound guy. And he's probably got others on the team that are working on sounds as well. But you know that that game is going to sound spot on. And, you know, that's not to take anything away from this game. You know, you can nitpick and say, oh, that sounds really bad. No. Wow. That's a heck of an incline there. I would not like to be doing this with one of the steam locomotives. We would have to be flat out. Oh, there we go. $46 for arriving at Ela. So it seems like passengers pay $1 per fare to go to Ela. There we go, $79 for delivering our coal. We'll go ahead and open the hatches on that. We'll disconnect and release our brakes. I love that. Fact that they've got animated brakes. We'll just give it a bit of power, and this should, when it reaches the incline, it will roll down on its own. But anyway, that is gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. I know it's a bit longer than the last one, but I just wanted to get this shunting maneuver in for you guys. If you have enjoyed it, as always, comments and thumbs up is really appreciated. Those of you that are already subscribers or decide to subscribe off the back of this video, I want to say a special thanks to you guys. It is really appreciated, even if I'm not making content as much as I used to. So, that said, I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.